Just west of Boston Harbor is a National Historic Treasure. The Cyclorama, home of the 6th Annual Boston Tattoo Convention. Needle artists, devotees, and voyeurs of the ink have gathered to bear witness to the first ever tattoo war of the sexes. That's right, male versus female. Baltimore badass Seth Safari will go hand-to-hand against New York City daredevil doll Michelle Miles. Each artist will ink in the ever-popular American traditional style. Then, it's up to the public to decide who will be the next master or mistress of the tattoo universe and take home the trophy. Over 4,000 tattoo enthusiasts and 145 artists from around the world have poured into Boston for New England's premier tattoo convention.
Tattoo artists are glorified symbol merchants. In most places of the world, tattoo artists are also magicians.
The Boston Tattoo Convention attracts some of the best artists in the business.
We come out to see other artists and check out other people's work.
The infamous Bindlestiff Circus is on hand to wow the fans. But the main event is the first ever Tattoo Wars Battle of the Sexes. The competitors, two of the biggest names in the tattoo industry, Seth Safari, a preeminent traditional tattoo artist and machine builder from Baltimore, Maryland, and Michelle Miles of New York City, a classically trained artist, 16-year veteran, and owner of Daredevil and Fun City Tattoo. The style? American traditional. It is a contest of trust and skill. May the best man, woman, win.
It's cake. Taking candy from a baby.
I don't think Seth really knows what he's up against.
The Lower East Side of Manhattan, known for tenements, Chinatown, and the Bowery. Today, it is home to Daredevil Tattoo and Michelle Miles.
I think I got my first tattoo just because it was the punk rock thing to do. I only had $25. I wanted to get a Black Panther, but the $25 would only buy me a little black cat.
Michelle has appeared on over 10 television shows. She's tattooed the famous, among them Joan Jett, Whoopi Goldberg, and Boy George. And her 9/11 memorial image graced the cover of New York Magazine.
I live for challenges. I think if I wasn't a tattooer, I'd probably be a mechanic. And I like being in something that isn't expected, especially being a girl with blonde hair. People tend to underestimate you.
Nothing says Baltimore more than crabs, baseball, and hairspray. This gritty industrial landscape on the Chesapeake Bay has been Seth Safari's home base for over 20 years, and Reed Street Tattoo, his shop, for 8.
When I was 16, I was using my brother's tattoo equipment, boiling the needles on the stovetop. Who knows how many cases of hepatitis I gave out.
Seth's masterful handiwork in the traditional American style, along with his machine building, have solidified his reputation in the tattoo world.
It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of dedication, and I've spent a lot of years learning the ins and outs of every facet of the business, making the brightest tattoos possible.
1 week before the Boston Tattoo Convention, Seth and Michelle decide to meet face-to-face to throw down for the rules of engagement. The meeting place, Paladar Restaurant, right in the heart of the Lower East Side, Michelle's home turf and enemy territory for Seth.
Aw, look who made it to dinner. Well, here's my client.
On hand is Michelle's boyfriend and soon-to-be canvas for the competition, Kevin McGoey.
I thought he was your boyfriend.
He's both.
So he's the only person you can convince to get tattooed by you.
Tattoo artists, enough dish. Let's get down to the business at hand, picking 3 iconic symbols that will make up the competition tattoo. In a unique twist, Michelle and Seth will each randomly pick from a pouch containing 20 symbols, such as a clipper ship, a dagger, or a snake. All 3 symbols must be incorporated into their competition tattoo. Michelle's up first.
Hey, you ready?
Yes.
Whatever Michelle picks is what Kevin will get.
Snake.
Go take a pull on the spot.
Roses.
And that's it?
The tiger, your favorite.
Tiger.
I believe I'm getting a tiger, snake, and roses, which I'm pleasantly pleased with.
All right, you're up.
Now it's Seth's turn.
Let's see. Panther. I have to have one veto or one wild card where I have to turn it down.
Put it on the side, put it on the side.
I can't do racing flags.
Yeah, it nicks the list.
Butterfly. And a buzzard. Panther, butterfly, and buzzard.
A panther, butterfly, buzzard.
You want? How we trade one?
Clearly, Seth's not too pleased with his elements. 2 days later, he meets up with his client back in Baltimore, photographer and soon-to-be canvas, Chase
yes, hello,
Lisbon.
hi.
What's up, Seth? What's the story with what the tattoo is supposed to be?
The way it's supposed to work is we're gonna agree on a subject matter. The overall theme is traditional American tattooing.
Why did I choose Seth? Seth chose me.
I've been friends with Chase for several years. I started tattooing him in 1996, and we hit it off right away. I think it'd be more fun if we just kind of did it our own way,
Yeah.
and kind of disregarded the rules, because I don't really, I'm not really pressed about following the rules. I didn't become a tattooer to follow rules. So let's just do it. Or what we're gonna do is write down a bunch of subject matter on pieces of paper and throw them into a hat, but I'm gonna blindfold you, and you're gonna pick from them without knowing what you're getting.
I think like the other guy should be blindfolded too or whatever would be awesome, but I'm blindfolded, he's not, I don't know why. I think Seth likes to torment me.
And I've had to write stuff down on. So, animals, heraldic imagery.
So you're making like a tattoo smoothie here, you're just...
Yeah, it's the 10-in-1, but it's gonna be like a 3-in-1.
Okay.
Like a value tat.
I like Seth's tattoos, and I'm not worried about what it's going to look like, because I know it'll look awesome.
All right, we'll say eagle,
Yeah.
snake,
Snake.
tiger, skull, girl head, butterfly, feathers. So what we're gonna do is rip these up and put them into some sort of a receptacle.
Okay.
Worst mistake of your life.
Coming up, now that Seth's broken the rules, the gloves are off.
At this point, it's pretty much anything goes.
4 days before the convention. It's 8 a.m. In Baltimore, Seth Safari is just finishing breakfast with his wife Lola, also a tattoo artist, and their 3-year-old son Max, and 18-month-old daughter Clover.
Sure.
After work today, what are you gonna do?
Did you tattoo your... Did you do those yourself?
Yeah.
They look good.
I think I can do my mom better.
Here, hold on my hand. You know, you should really be wearing gloves.
Definitely.
Raw dogging.
What's that?
What is it?
A surfboard.
Oh, it's a great surfboard.
Personally, I would prefer that my kids don't get tattoos. I hope that his way of rebelling against his parents is by not getting tattoos. When you have kids and you look at them and you think they're perfect the way they are, you start to understand why your parents don't want you to get tattoos. You want to tattoo a mustache on Clover's face?
Let's see, Clover.
Meanwhile, in New York City, Michelle Miles is up early too. Her first task every day is to walk her dogs.
I got Sarah when she was 8 months old, and I had just started tattooing. She's been with me through my whole career, pretty much. Murphy came with Kevin. She was kind of rescued out of a garbage pail. Kevin and I, we don't want kids or anything, but we love our dogs. Definitely, we're the crazy dog people. We take them everywhere with us. Every road trip, dogs go with us.
Michelle has a full day of tattooing ahead of her down at Daredevil.
Hey, Sebastian. Good to see you.
Normally, people book Michelle's time months in advance. But concierge Sebastian Russell does not have the luxury of time. He's moving to Hawaii at the end of the week, and Michelle is going to the Boston competition. She must finish Sebastian's full back piece this morning.
Oh, awesome. Everything healed up really good. We just got a few touch-ups to do, and then...
And the blood?
Yeah, and the blood. That's it. You're done. We need to put the blood from the arrows. Ready, Sebastian? I love the way this turned out.
Oh, I call it the Sistine Chapel. It's like the missing panel.
An interesting choice. I always liked St. Sebastian because when I was a kid, I actually, for a short while, went to a St. Sebastian school. So when Sebastian said he wanted to get it as a back piece, I pretty much pestered him till he let me.
And I was like, okay, she wants to do my back piece. I was like, you gotta go for that opportunity. Michelle, she's done, of course, a lot of celebrities, which I was aware of. I saw that she owned 2 tattoo shops in the city, so how could I entice her to want to work with me? Because I was like, she's, you know, super well known. Luckily, I hooked her with something that was classic. I said, I have some old flash. I'd like to do some work from that. And she said, great. She goes, I want to see the flash, and I want to do this tattoo. Michelle, honestly, in my opinion, is one of the best tattoos going on anywhere right now. She's going to leave a huge legacy.
Oh, you're the best.
Orange roses for the orange roses.
Oh, they're so nice. Thank you. Sebastian, it's been so great.
Yes, yes.
The most important appointment today is the fitting of Kevin's competition tattoo.
That's a leg.
Should I shave you now?
No. No shaving prior tattooing.
The tat will have a tiger, roses, and a snake, which will be positioned on his left thigh. Before any drawing can be done, Michelle must figure out the general size and placement of the tattoo.
Kevin wanted to get tattooed from me, so he came into the shop.
And then she hit on me throughout the entire tattoo. We had dinner, and our first date lasted 3 days.
You know, I want all my tattoos on him to be my best tattoos, so maybe I picked him just to have that little bit of added incentive to really knock something out good. What do you think?
I'd say maybe a touch higher if we could.
She does a rough sketch above Kevin's left knee of a tiger's head. This will be the main element of the tattoo.
Great, that's it.
Okay. It's painless. Will all your customers kiss you?
Due south in Baltimore at Reed Street Tattoo, clients are already stacked up for Seth Seferi, including his competition canvas, Chase Lisbon. But it's well worth the wait for this world-class artist. Notoriously late, Seth is whipping through traffic on the mean streets of Baltimore.
We're gonna need to take a tracing of the area, basically just to make sure that we have the right size worked out.
Since the contest is only 4 days away, the first order of business is Chase's fitting. The competition tattoo will be of a girl's head, roses, and a snake, which will go on Chase's right thigh. Seth is still keeping Chase in the dark about what he's going to get.
No, it'll be like inside of there.
Yeah.
All right, and that'll be it. So that's it, and I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Go put your pants on and you can leave.
Already waiting for 3+ hours is Erica Denny. She's come back for the finishing touches to the luscious flowers that Seth has tattooed on her left arm.
It's always worth the wait for Seth.
What we're gonna do is just put a little bit more background in here and tie that together a bit. I think the last time we tattooed you, we were both kind of at the end of our rope that day.
Almost 30, and I have 5 children, and I'm a stay-at-home mom.
5 kids? It would be 4 at this point. I would have killed one of them just to set an example. Be like, you see this? The head on the stick out front? Yeah, you're next. Back.
I'm a conservative person, the way that I raise my children. They've never seen anything over PG. I monitor their television. I'm a part of the PTA. In my little suburban neighborhood, I have been a learning tool for a lot of people just because of how other people have a hard time looking past the way I look. But it doesn't change like who I am inside.
The general impression of a tattoo is the old blue smear on some sailor or on some biker. And I would like to help do my part to change that image of the tattoo.
Well, I didn't pick this image. Seth did. I just trusted Seth because he's an artist and I'm not.
That's it. You're done.
Yay.
It's finished.
I'm alive.
I'm gonna put a bandage on it for you. Okay. Well, thanks.
When we return, time's ticking away. Sketches need to be done. And can Seth tool a machine for Michelle before the battle begins?
Might have a few tricks up my sleeve to make it perform up to my expectations.
3 days until Safari and Miles throw down ink in Boston. First order of the day for Seth and Michelle is to design and draw the competition tattoos.
For the contest, I'm doing a tattoo of like 1940s or 1950s style Gibson girl head with a snake and some roses, which is pretty much my bread and butter. It's gonna cover the outside of the thigh. I would say 3 out of every 10 tattoos that I do is a girl head with some roses. I don't know why. People ask me for them all the time. I do them a ton. I'm not gonna complain because I really enjoy doing them. I'll do every one of them different. But it's cake. We're not gonna worry about shading and color until we actually tattoo it. A design like this, I probably have to put in about 4 or 5 hours worth of work. A lot of the images that I use are appropriated. Old photographs and advertisements and clip art drawings and stuff like that, and I'll just kind of translate them into a more tattooable style. I think it's important for the lines to have varied weight. If you outline the entire tattoo with a really small or a really thick needle, it just looks flat. No, I've never gone to art school. I pretty much just learned it to draw through tattooing. I painted a little bit through high school, and then when I started tattooing, it sort of forced me to draw, because sometimes I'd lose a stencil. If I was working on somebody, I'd wipe it off. I would have to draw it right back on them, on their skin, and you learn fast that way. All right, I think that's it.
Up in New York City, Michelle's just getting started on her design of a tiger, roses, and a snake.
I was always the art girl in my class, always drawing, reading books. I was pretty much a big nerd. I like the old circus art. I don't know, I just love the colors and all this stuff, like super vibrant, really graphic. In fact, I think that might even be perfect. My poster up there. I love his face. I like his expression and everything. That might be the money shot. I moved to New York City to go to Parsons School of Design. I was a painting major in fine arts, and I'd say pretty much from the minute I picked up a tattoo machine, everything else just kind of paled in comparison. It was pretty hard to go from painting to tattooing for me because my style was very loose and tattooing is very disciplined. You have to have everything nailed down. I want to keep it really bold, really traditional looking. One, because of the limited time we have. I want something that I can really kind of bang out, and I also want it to be something that's going to be very striking, even from a distance that people will be able to respond to when Kevin's up on stage.
Out in front, Michelle's next client, Melissa Pope, is cruising up to Daredevil in a 1930s Ford Roadster. A classic car enthusiast and photographer, Melissa is paying homage to the traditional American style by getting a tattoo of a 1930s pinup girl holding a camera.
Yeah, that's perfect. I love it.
Melissa has practically virgin skin when it comes to tattooing. This classic American pinup will be her first major piece. It will take Michelle 3 hours from stencil to art. Good practice for the upcoming competition.
Michelle's thing is pinups and traditional American tattoos, so I figured it would be perfect.
I love all the traditional subject matter. That stuff's really timeless to me. You need something that's going to have a nice solid outline and nice bold colors for it to last really good.
Oh, she's pretty.
Up front, Daredevil has a full house. Co-owner Brad Fink takes a break to check out Michelle's pinup gal.
That's very, very nice. She's beautiful.
About the tattoo. My business partner, Brad's a really big inspiration to me. He's an amazing tattooer. His style is just over the top, just this crazy look to it that doesn't look like anybody else's tattoos.
Quite frankly, she is one of my inspirations. Her tattooing is an example of her lifestyle and her personality and who she is.
Brad's like the best in the world.
Oh, shut up. All right, getting deep in here.
Brad and Michelle have been partners for over 10 years. They both grew up in St. Louis.
It wasn't until later on, after she moved to New York and came back to St. Louis, that she came in the shop, and that's when our friendship sort of begun.
All along, he was saying if tattooing became legal, he'd like to open a shop with me. And
at that time in New York City, tattooing was illegal, banned since 1964. It was a clandestine scene.
All the shops were underground. Everything was by word of mouth, referrals.
It still had that old seediness to it. The tattoo artist had to come down and meet you on the corner, and then the tattoo artist would take you up to the apartment and you would get tattooed.
So I started tattooing in like 91 and worked underground until 97 when it was legalized. As soon as I heard it was going to be legal, I called Brad up, and I think a week later we signed the lease on Daredevil.
Michelle needs a nostalgia injection before the war. With Brad in tow, she makes a pilgrimage down to the inking grounds of the pioneer tattooers, Chatham Square.
10, 11.
It's a sandwich shop.
That sucks. This is the birthplace of modern American tattooing, right here in Chatham Square off the Bowery. So this was where Millie Hall worked, and she used to bill herself as New York's only lady tattooer. I like that. I think I might have to steal that.
Michelle loves the lurid history of the turn-of-the-century Bowery. It inspires her art and her traditional American style.
The Bowery really was at its heyday, like at the beginning of the 20th century. There was just like tons and tons of immigrants pouring into this area. Back in the day, this was a pretty rough place to be. This was known as the crime district. And this was always a place that had the most flop houses, the most brothels, dime museums, and all the tattoo parlors were right down here. A lot of bad stuff going on, a lot of fighting. And these guys were tattooing right in the middle of all that.
It's late afternoon in Baltimore. Longtime client Corinne Farrell gives over her right forearm to Seth.
There it is. I'm going to draw a little bit more on there, I think, just to fill in the space a bit better. I'm doing a tattoo of an owl on Corinne, because everyone gets owls these days. It's the Tasmanian Devil of 2007. He's standing on a skull. He's defeated what symbolizes death, and it's an owl.
The thing about owls is that they're like nocturnal predators. I'm a bartender, and I work at a music club. So I'm always up till like 4 in the morning, and more often than not, I'm yelling at someone for being an idiot.
Seth is doing this entire piece in one 4-hour sitting. Like Michelle, good practice for the upcoming contest.
Everything I've ever seen that Seth has done has always been amazing. I think he's a genius. I mean, I wouldn't let him put stuff on me if he wasn't a genius.
The whole reason that I continue to tattoo is because I want the next tattoo that I do to be better than the last. I prefer to do tattoos that are timeless and ageless. Classic and sophisticated at the same time, maybe stripped down and simple. Traditional American style is nice to look at. It's what I prefer to wear on myself, mainly because it's what I identify with. I don't identify with Eastern culture because it's not me, it's not what I was raised in. I like a Western aesthetic.
Okay, that's it for the black.
You can't get away with any mistakes in traditional American tattooing. With most other styles, you can hide it with shading or with varying weights of line. But with American style tattooing, it's real straightforward, it's very flat, it's very deliberate. There are broad strokes of color and heavy fields of black and single pass bold lines. You have to really pay attention and not make mistakes, and that pretty much trains you to do tattoos.
We're done, you made it.
Well, it's bleeding, it hurts, it's a bunch of awesome colors, and I love it.
Later that night in his tool shop, Seth is deep into his other passion. With only 3 days left to the tattoo war, he's putting in some extra hours for his competitor, Michelle Miles.
Michelle asked me to make an outliner tattoo machine for her, and hopefully I'll be able to get it done before I head up there. I'm either going to make it really, really nice and hopefully generate some sales for myself, or might have a few tricks up my sleeve to make it perform up to my expectations.
Machine building is the engine that truly drives Seth's devotion to the art of tattooing.
I think that I've helped make people aware of the fact that there's a difference between something that's mass-produced and handmade. There's a whole bin of them that I have to do. There's one. Now, I try to operate on as low voltage as possible. I feel that it creates less trauma to the skin and it generates less heat, makes it a little more comfortable to work with. Yeah, these things right here, these springs, but that's kind of the brain of the machine. The coils are, I would say, what's the heart, and the frame is the soul, and they all work together.
Coming up, Michelle psychs up for battle by letting it all out at Coney Island. Two days left till competition countdown. The pressure is mounting for Seth and Michelle. They are now psyching each other out via email.
Yeah, there she is. Smoke and mirrors. I'm totally gonna smoke her. Look at her.
Let's see, the first comment I got from Seth was, you're going down.
And then she said, you're gonna be really embarrassed if you lose to a girl. And then I said, yeah, I will.
Ooh, look, you're in her top friends.
Ooh, I'm in her top friends now.
Don't think that because I'm in your top friends, you're getting cut any slack, Blondie.
And now I got the, he's not gonna cut me any slack.
If she tattoos like a man, she has a chance. I mean, it's a male-dominated field for a reason.
I'm not worried.
Well, we'll see how she does.
I think she's rooting for Michelle.
Maybe I am at this point.
Seth may be in the doghouse with women, but he can't think about that now. He's scheduled numerous clients to tattoo, as well as deliver a new machine to his rival, Michelle. Down on the Lower East Side, Michelle not only has several clients scheduled, she has 2 shops to run.
It's kind of like having 2 separate jobs, running both places, and then also tattooing full-time keeps me on my toes.
Time to head to her other shop, Fun City, just a short 8 blocks away. Michelle preps her workspace for client Paul Lombardi, who is in the process of receiving a large piece.
I have a koi on the outside of my arm, a swallow on my chest here, and then a dragon on this arm.
Today is session 4, a severed panther's head with 3 arrows and a banner that reads Legion.
There's not many things I wouldn't tattoo on someone. I mean, of course, my style's more suited to certain things more so than others. I think everybody gets the tattoo they deserve, and if somebody wants to get something that says, you know, they're an idiot, they probably are.
As a creative designer, Paul appreciates Michelle's abilities.
She has a really strong sense of color. Her line work is really sharp and detailed. She's really good at placing the piece on the body.
I think it fits really nice there, and if you move it over much, then that arrow's gonna start bumping into your throat.
Tattoos are compelling because of permanence. It's art that you wear. It's indelible, and there's something sexy about that. And you gotta suffer a little bit to get them. You sort of earn it in the process of applying it.
The competition is looming large. Michelle needs a full-on visceral experience that will give her competition tattoo the winning edge. She and her boys hop into her '66 Buick Riviera and muscle out to
Coney Island, here we go. Coney Island. It's like this seedy version of all those homogenized corporate dreamlands. It was a truly unique New York institution.
This is my first time to Coney Island.
Yeah, we had to get out here. I mean, it's just such a beautiful day, but most of all, I mean, this place is history alive. The whole sideshow history, the burlesque dancers, and all that kind of stuff is a big inspiration for me.
4.
time to have some good old-fashioned fun. Up next, Seth delivers his custom-made machine to Michelle just hours before the tattoo war.
Is this what I think it is? A hand grenade?
36 hours until Seth Safari takes on Michelle Miles in the tattoo war of the sexes. Magic hour in Baltimore. People are heading home from work, but not Seth. He's fitting in just one more client before he heads up to Boston tomorrow morning. Close friend Shelly Hannon lays down for Seth's art, literally.
It's a panther crawling from the nape of my neck all the way down to my upper buttocks. I like the concept behind the panther climbing and fighting for what you believe in and being strong and overcoming obstacles. I didn't want a masculine panther. I wanted it to be curvy and feminine, but I still wanted it to be badass, you know what I mean? I wanted it to be tough, but feminine. I definitely think that there is a lot of feminine qualities in Seth's work. I mean, it is very sensual, and anybody can put, you know, traditional tattoos on someone, but his line work and the imagery and his artwork just makes it special, and I like that.
For some reason, I have a large female clientele, but it might just be my own preference and like the urgency for making appointments. You know, people think that tattoos are for scumbags, and part of that I kind of like. That's what attracted me to the business. Not everyone did it.
My mom, she said, "You're gonna look like a backer whore." And now I have a mom tattoo. Now I definitely look like a biker whore. I'm like, that worked out interestingly.
Daredevil Tattoo. It's the day before the battle in Boston. On his way to the convention, Seth stops at Michelle's with a peace offering.
Hey, Seth.
How are you?
Good. How's
What's
it going?
happening? I may have something for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
Ah, no way. Is this what I think it is? A hand grenade? Oh, awesome. Wow. It's really cool.
If you don't expect much, it'll be all right.
It's really nice. I love the size.
Cool.
Hey, I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
It's awesome.
My pleasure.
thank you so much.
Hopefully it'll do you right.
Well, see, now if I lose, I can blame it on the machine, but if I win, you can blame it on the machine.
There you go. Cool.
Okay, thanks a lot, man.
All right, well, I will see you in Boston.
All right.
All right, take care.
Looking forward to it.
I've heard this competition is a pretty cutthroat deal, man. Seth is a very confident person, and I'm sure he thinks he's got it wrapped up. And Michelle is just the little shy, soft-spoken young woman that packs a powerful punch.
Boston, Massachusetts, a city known for its fighting spirit, whether it be for freedom or baseball. There's no better place for a tattoo war. Loading has already begun for Team Miles. Kevin and Michelle unload their full-on Daredevil display and immediately start setting up shop. A few moments later, Ink Slinger Safari saunters in, briefcase in hand.
It's me here.
See you.
Sweet.
Seth takes the minimalist approach. In fact, he prides himself on it.
Look, I got like 4 colors too. That's everything.
That's a pretty sick banner, man. You guys have a nice banner.
Theirs is a lot better than yours, Seth. Less is more. Less is more. This is ridiculous.
This is awesome. The first 4 people that come to this table will know who he is.
As a key player of Team Safari, Canvas Chase Lisbon is not buying the less is more approach.
Look at him over there. And
you won the display war.
So
you won the...
1 hour later, feeling one up by his opponent and pressured by his canvas, Seth takes matters into his own hands with a little help from the Maryland Department of Motor Vehicles.
All right, there it is.
Yeah, that about sums up Seth.
Booths are ready. Canvas is primed. When we return, Michelle and Seth begin their battle of the sexes. The 6th annual Boston Tattoo Convention is open for business. Thousands are here to witness the first ever Tattoo War of the Sexes. Hailing from New York City, Daredevilicious Michelle Miles will square off against Baltimore bad boy Seth Safari.
I got some butterflies, you know.
Tattooing is second nature to me, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal.
Here are their canvases. These are the stencils. Time limit by agreement, 4 hours. Artists, game on. First up, both Kevin and Chase submit their thighs for a close shave.
I'm having a private moment with my girlfriend. She's shaving me.
Why are you shaving so much?
Because I need like a clean area to work.
Can you move this?
I was kind of harvesting it there.
With a nice clean surface comes the laying on of the stencils. Seth still keeps Chase in the dark about what he's getting.
He still hasn't seen the design.
It will be a huge risk if Chase doesn't like what he sees.
It should take me about 3 or 4 hours. I'm pretty fast.
Meanwhile, Michelle is not satisfied with the placement of her stencil and has to redo it.
Now we're gonna move it over a little bit. You get a couple shots with the stencil to get it right where you want it.
Seth's already gunning.
Oh yeah.
That's much better.
Yeah, that's the spot.
Way better.
That's awesome. We got it.
1 hour in, both artists are deep into the line drawing of the designs. Seth bears down with thick black ink, while Michelle clearly has a lighter touch. Michelle's design is more intricate than what she initially planned. She added in a web and a dagger. This level of detail could create a problem.
Probably the biggest challenge is the time constraints on it. You know, we got to really sort of hustle through this.
Seth finally relents, letting Chase take a peek.
I think it's huge.
Which means more area for Seth to tattoo. Hour 2 is all about color and pain in varying degrees.
If I was a masochist, I'd love this. I hate it. But now it's just kind of like a mixture of boredom and pain.
Pain's temporary. Anybody who complains about the pain doesn't deserve to get tattooed.
With 1 hour remaining, it's time to check the pulse of the crowd.
I think they're both great artists.
but that's a good race right there. I don't know. I would just have to like wait till the dust settles and see.
I'll vote for the girl.
Seth's been around a while, but Michelle's a lot better looking.
I can't wait to see what happens.
Back at Battle Central, Daredevil Michelle inks her final marks, the white in the tiger's eye.
All right. I think you're done.
Oh, the best part, the wipe down.
There you go.
Thank you.
10 minutes left. A crowd forms around Seth, who's clearly feeling the pressure.
I do better tattoos at the shop than at conventions. That's why I don't work at conventions.
Michelle can't resist razzing her opponent.
Hey, man, you not done yet?
Almost.
Hey, you said you were fast.
It's an interesting concept, the idea to see whose tattoo is better. Based on public opinion, McDonald's has the best hamburgers. So, I mean, how much does it really mean? It looks good enough. 70% pleased. I've never been 100% pleased with a tattoo.
I think it looks awesome.
Michelle may have finished first, but this tattoo war is not over yet. Let's look at the tattoos. Rendered in 4 intense hours, Seth's classic Gibson girl has come to life with his signature red roses adorning her beautiful head crowned by a hissing snake. Seth's design is pure Americana with its strong, bold lines and vibrant colors. From Michelle's fierce tiger radiates a spider's web, roses, and a two-headed snake wrapped around a dagger. Michelle's elaborate design epitomizes the traditional American style. Its bold imagery and subtlety of shading gives it a 3D quality that jumps right off the skin. Now, it's the people's turn to pick the winner. Producer Hugh King rallies the masses.
Take a ballot and vote for the tattoo that you like the best.
The crowd surges forward to check out the competing tattoos and the sexy thighs.
He's definitely got some tattoo ink in his leg, and I wish him luck with it, but I won. I just look at it and see pain.
But it didn't hurt him. He was cool. It hurt me.
Connoisseurs, amateurs, and artists cast their ballots. With 30 seconds before the polls close, competitors Michelle and Seth step up to the ballot box.
My vote is my business.
3, 2, 1. The voting is closed.
Now, it's time to announce the next champion in the Tattoo War universe.
The envelope, please.
Who will it be? Michelle Miles of New York City or Seth Safari of Baltimore?
Winner of the Tattoo Wars, Michelle Miles.
The first ever Tattoo Wars Battle of the Sexes is over. The people voted, a woman won.
I guess I want to be remembered for how rich I get and live happily ever after with Kevin, with all of our dogs surrounding us and all of our hot rods.
I don't think that when I'm 70 years old, I'm going to say I wish I did more tattoos. I'm going to say I wish I spent more time with my kids.
For Michelle Miles, the sweet taste of victory.
I just got one thing to say. Swallow this, Seth.